What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We are back with Persona 3 Reload. Oh my gosh. I want to say to everyone who has put up with me over the last week, thank you so much. I'll let Ken talk and then I'll finish my little spiel.
I see. You should be careful.
And you're goddamn right I'm gonna drink when I'm allowed to, you little bitch.
Alcohol has a very mature feeling about it, doesn't it? I don't think I'm a fan of all the rowdy parties, but having a nice glass does look kind of cool.
Why do you talk like a... I hate this kid. God, he is my least favorite character.
Wow, it's late. Watching those bonus clips took longer than I thought.
Oh yeah, and you know, every time that Ken gets brought up and he's like, oh look, I'm just a kid and I'm trying to act grown up and everything. Might I remind everyone that the kid planned out a murder?
Good night.
That was like a whole element of the plot, and his plan actually got the guy that he wanted dead. He just didn't do it, and it didn't go the way he wanted because... What is with this guy? Why are you here? Nah, whatever. I guess it was saying with my spiel earlier. Last week, I think I put up like one video. I am sorry about that. If you hadn't seen the post, you didn't see the second half of the ReFantazio video that I talked about this. We had massive storms in my area last Monday. Power got knocked out. Trees were uprooted all over the damn place. My pool got taken out, sadly. A limb fell down, hit it in just the right spot. It hit it, so it bent some supports. It fucked up some things that couldn't just get replaced. You know, obviously super lucky there. But, you know, we were really, actually, yeah, we were the lucky ones. I had a neighbor, literally my next door neighbor, one of their trees got uprooted. Instead of falling down on our side of the, you know, falling towards our house, it fell to one of my neighbors, and it only took off a chunk of their side. And I mean, it's not good, but it could have been a lot worse. A guy down the street, I was driving by, tree got lifted. I say lifted, but you know, the roots got yanked out of the ground. It fell. It landed across the hood of his Lexus and onto the side of his house. So, you know, the fact that we only lost the pool, we'll take it. But everybody's been, you know, cleaning up, getting rid of just giant ass tree limbs. We were dealing with insurance and everything. Fuck this guy. Yeah, whoever put this on the screen, that's exactly correct. But no, so you know, we're just dealing with insurance. We lost power for about 36 hours, something like that. So, you know, it was around the time that I was, you know, finishing up homework and stuff like that. So I was behind on classwork and everything. Just everything became a frickin' problem. So I apologize. I'm back. This week should be normal. He says, really hoping it's normal. Oh, man. So, while this guy continues to talk about crap that I don't care about, and guess what? At the end of this, he doesn't even ask a question. It's like after 20 minutes of him just talking, you're tired. Do you want to take a nap? What the fuck do you ask me now? Ask me at the beginning so I didn't have to listen to him. Like, this guy's class is the worst addition to the FES edition. It's so fucking long. I do not understand it. Either way, let's talk about something fun. I spent time, you know, while I was working on my homework. I don't know what made me like want to do this, but I think I saw like a clip or something from a Pirates of the Caribbean movie on YouTube, and I'm like, you know what, I want to watch those movies again. Watched 1 through 5. That's right, I watched 4 and 5 as well. And I can say this, I really think that series holds up. I honestly do. I think 1 and 2 are easily the best films. Very good movies. I think the CG in the first one, yeah, it shows its age, but I think like Davy Jones and his crew look really good. The use of practical effects on the on some of Davy Jones's crew, I also thought was pretty good. You know, for characters that, you know, like live action people are really interacting with a lot and everything, it looks pretty good. You know, it's not that stupid. You're acting against a tennis ball or Ian McKellen in a pure green room when he was doing The Hobbit. Yeah, I really do. I think the first couple Pirates movies were really good. I honestly, I'd say the third best movie would be number 4. And I know some people are like, really? 4? I'm like, yeah. I think it was honestly a fairly solid film. The guy they brought in to play Blackbeard was actually, for me, it really worked. I liked him in the role. I thought the writing was still fairly good. I could have done without the priest-mermaid love story. And I also think it started to introduce an element to Jack Sparrow that I didn't like. And that is, he stops really starting becoming clever and just becoming an idiot savant. You know, it's like, yes, he walks around drunk, and yes, he does all this weird shit, but he's actually quite eloquent in his own way. Again, like when Davy Jones pops over to his ship, and, you know, he's like, oh, I gave you a soul to join your crew in place of me, and he's like, well, you know, one soul's not necessarily equal to another, and Jack says, my favorite line in the series, just such an innocuous line of, you know, so my theory is sound in principle, so we are just haggling over price. To which, you know, Davy Jones does that great line of price. Just pops his mouth. God damn it, the guy who played Davy was really good at that role. But yeah, I thought number 4, you know, that was a big problem for me. Were they separating him as like I said, very clever? He kind of has an element like Nathan Drake. Yes, he gets by a lot on luck, but it's his savviness that lets him turn that luck into success. Where I think 4, and especially in 5, they just kind of wrote him as an idiot who's just bumbling through things, and it just works out. He's not as clever as he was in the first couple movies, and I really like that element about the character. You know, I mean, I'll say this: one of my favorite aspects about 4 is that Jack actually got to be more of the forefront, and then I think they took that away a little bit in the 5th movie. I think 3 is the next to last. You know, the first 20 minutes. That was weird. Audio just dropped for me. Not sure if it would do that for you guys, but yeah, weird. The recording sputtered there. Interesting. Not sure if that was an Adobe thing or not. What was I saying? Oh, right, yeah. The first bit of the first like 30-40 minutes of the film, before we even are introduced to Davy Jones' locker and Jack, and the back half of the 3rd movie has so many interesting elements. You know, I think like the Brethren Court, the whole thing with Calypso. I think that they could have done some really cool shit and talked about some much neater elements of the movie if they wouldn't have front-loaded the first 30 to 40 minutes of not your best. The setup, it just takes too long to get going, in my opinion. But still, overall, it's I think a good movie. And then the weakest one is 5. You know, problems with Jack Sparrow. I don't think the writing of the actual story is very good. I mean, the idea of the Poseidon's trident being able to break all the curses on the sea, interesting. And I liked the villain design-wise. I liked his concept. I feel his motivation was a touch weak. But all in all, I think the elements for a good movie was there. But I would still say this. I'd say this about it. The movie was passable. It's passable. You know, I mean, that's... the worst, in my opinion, I think the worst film in the franchise is at least watchable. You know, 5 is at least watchable. 3 is still pretty good, even though I still think it's a little weak. And I think 1, 2, 4 are still really fun movies. 1 and 2 are just, I think, of better quality, but 4 is still, in my opinion, a fun movie. But that is what it... Excuse me. That is what it is, and tell me, you know... You can tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm crazy, but I stand by my statements. And thus ends today's edition of Pirate Talk. Boom, knocked it out right before the end of this guy's just asinine class.
There you are. Finally found you.
Hey, Takeba.
You hardly ever miss student council meetings. I've been looking all over for you.
Did someone ask you to come find me?
Well, yeah. I'm not a member or anything, but still.
Ah, well. Sorry about that.
You've been pretty busy, huh? What with the class trip and all. It's for both second and third years, so I imagine you have your hands full too.
The class trip. Even if I did go, I'd only spoil the fun.
Wait, you're not thinking of skipping the trip, are you? You can't do that. That's not an option. You know, I've been meaning to talk to you.
About what?
Okay, did anyone just see that? Did the video
honestly,
sputter?
you're
There's something
easily
weird with
pretty
OBS
good.
while I'm recording.
I
It
lost
keeps
my dad,
doing
too.
that.
And I know what that's like.
Takeba.
So I've decided I don't want our friendship to be over. I'm going to be
Like, I
more
just keep
upfront with you
catching it in
from now on.
videos. Like, it'll just sputter for a couple seconds every so often. Again, that could it could be Adobe, and you guys could be looking at it going, AJ, what the fuck are you talking about? There's nothing wrong
Why are
here.
you up here?
Weren't you looking for the
Why?
president
Why
too?
bring
I
this
would do
guy
the same
here?
thing.
He ruins
Some
this
guy
moment,
asked me
this
if I-
nice
he
moment
said if
between
I did,
Yukari
the
and
class trip might get canceled.
Odakiri-kun. He'll hit up
holy
anyone in
shit,
arm's reach
Mitsuru.
for
That took me a
favor.
second.
In any case, looks like I found you.
This guy's about to shamelessly hit on her. But no, I mean it's a nice moment. You know, we both know, you know, what it feels like to lose a parent to this shit and all this. It works.
The restaurant up there.
It's a good scene, and then he just walks in, the music cuts, and we don't actually really get a resolution to the scene,
Nightscape?
in my opinion.
Senpai,
I
you better
don't
get
know
back to
why
the
they
meeting.
did this scene this way.
Oh, right.
I don't know. I'm still waiting for
Talk about-
what this guy's deal is.
Thank you for coming to find me. For now, I'd better see to my duties.
Hey, she left without giving me an answer.
For now, huh? I don't like the sound of that.
I think that means
Oh,
no.
are you Yukari-san? Care to join me for dinner? I know this place on Shirakawa Boulevard.
Look, I'm just gonna say this. That takes balls to blatantly hit on a woman in front of another girl. Or whatever. I'm using woman and girl kind of interchangeably here. But to hit on a woman and to just shamelessly hit on a woman in front of another woman. And then when you shoot your shot, it doesn't work out, you turn to the other woman and go, "So you want to go out?" That takes balls.
Did you need...
Okay, what if I apologize? You know what? There were words I was about to scream at you, but they're not YouTube friendly. Great that I think I've said some YouTube unfriendly words anyways. I dislike her, is essentially what I'm saying. Trying to decide between Fuka and Yukari on who I want to hang out with, and it really kind of comes down to which one I have a persona of their Arcana
Hey there.
with, just so, yeah, because it'll give me a boost to their the hanging out with them. That was a feature of this game that I did not know about for the longest time. The fact that you could use that if you had a persona of a particular social links arcana, you'd actually get a boost to hanging out with them. Okay, we are about to go to my least favorite section of Tartarus. Holy shit, I do not remember this section from the original games, so I cannot tell you if this is like what it was in the original, but holy shit, I about threw up the first time we walked in. I'm talking like I honestly thought I was having a stroke. Yeah, fuck you, weather prediction. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer. It's like down to the bottom right. It's like, light rain predicted for... I'm like, fuck you. And so I'm sitting here, like, sniffing. I'm like, my... Ugh. Sinus is a little blocked, and I'm just sitting here going, I don't want there to be light rain. My nose is going to be stuffy, and I'm going to be uncomfortable. I don't want that. Nah. Because I'm a giant baby.
Very well.
So I'm glad that Mitsuru joined us back in Tartarus, because I think somebody told me that she joined after the school trip. So it was like, man, this is going to take a while before we can actually jump back into Tartarus. Oh boy, this is gonna be... Everyone brace themselves.
There's no room for carelessness. Stay alert.
I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but like as soon as that popped up, my brain just... Yes, Fuka, it does hurt my eyes, and yes, Fuka, I have been ambushed here, because as I run at the enemies, I actually, because of the surroundings, it's something with all the different colors and everything popping up everywhere, I can't judge distance. So, like, I'm swinging at nothing and getting hit by shadows, because I can't fucking see them. Hell yeah! And like I said, maybe it's only a me problem.
Let's do this.
You know, I'm about to talk about some marching band shit for anybody who always forgets that I'm an even bigger nerd than you thought. And that's right, I spent my weekends in high school just like Captain Crunch. Leave me alone. Sorry, it's not even a good joke. Where was I going with this? Oh, right. I was watching this drum corps show. Super intense marching band for anyone who doesn't know what drum corps is. Look it up. It's a cool activity. It's a whole thing. Either way, so it was about 20. I think right when I started the activity, it was 2010. I was at World Championships, and I'm 90% sure that the show won that year, but they had all of these mirrors lined up at like 10-yard intervals. They had all this reflective tape tied over things that the color guard was throwing up into the air. I'm not sure what exactly they were. They were like these like canes or something they were tossing up in the air. It all had to do with the show's theme that I cannot remember for the life of me. But it was just, there was so much just reflection and like, you know, this like reflective tape mirrors and this reflective tape on these things you're throwing up and spinning in the air. Like, I was looking at it. My eyes physically hurt from looking at it.
Let's see.
And that's what it was like looking at this dungeon. My eyes actually hurt from looking at it. It's it's what people would jokingly say, oh, this is what kid shows are. It's just colors. You know, it's to help the people with the low attention spans. To which I sit here and go, yeah, apparently that's what this is. Oh, man.
I'm using this. Thanks.
Fuck you. Sorry. I got a message from a buddy. Sent me an article, something that I've read before. No, I'll explain. Apparently, I saw this. I can't remember when I saw this. I saw it very recently, and it was a relatively old article. I don't know why I just saw it. So I think I saw somebody joking about it on a YouTube short, and I looked it up. But apparently, Microsoft is trying to team up with Steam, in which I would go, why? And before anybody goes, oh, well, of course Microsoft will want to buy Steam. No, they aren't going to buy Steam, as far as I understand. They're trying to team up with them. Essentially, as far as I understand it, they want it so that you can play your Steam games on Xbox and your Xbox games on Steam. And I'm like, I remember looking at the comments of this. They're reading this article in the comments of the article, and people are just like, oh, this sounds like a cool idea. It sounds like a cool idea. I'm like, why? In what world would you want to do this? And I'm sure people would look at me like, oh, isn't that cool? It's this grand utopia of everything being cross-platform and that Microsoft wants because they can't actually compete with Sony when it comes to a console. And I know there's probably going to be somebody out there who says, AJ, that's not fair. No, it's true. Why else do you think that I still remember that time that Xbox had to say, oh, well, we're really, Sony's focused on consoles. We're focused on other stuff, like they're some higher being or some shit. Phil Spencer annoys me. Sorry, that's not new. I've said that a million times on the channel. But no, them teaming up with Steam, I think is a stupid idea. Mostly because I guess it's the games on Steam that I play. I play CRPGs, stuff like Jagged Alliance or Baldur's Gate, or maybe like Total War. I play these kind of games that fit more to mouse and keyboard. Why would I want to play them on my Xbox? Mix that with I'm playing them on Steam. So why would I want to team up with Xbox to play something on my Xbox? Maybe it's for people who don't have a strong PC but want to utilize Steam's better marketplace, because God, the Xbox marketplace makes no goddamn sense in my opinion. But maybe they want to use Steam for better deals and stuff. I saw people bringing that up, and then I'm sitting here go, okay, but then how does that help Xbox? Why would they want to team up with them? Just to bring more people? I mean, I don't see how that ends up being money generation for Xbox. And I think somebody's like, oh, but more people are going to buy Xbox games. And I sit here and go, but that doesn't necessarily mean that. And it means, it's almost like people forget that Xbox games are still on PC, but through the Microsoft Store. It's, but now they're going to put them on Steam so they lose the cut that they make. I don't know. The long and short of it is, I don't see who wins in this situation. It's a weird concept of trying to do cross-platform or something that Xbox keeps trying to push for this. Oh, well, we don't need platforms anymore, man. We can just all play whatever on our different consoles. You can play Mario on your Xbox if you want, as if, Nintendo will ever let that happen. I just don't see how it is an advantage for Xbox. I keep wanting to sit here and scream, dudes, just how about you make a good game? How about you do something that interests people? Because I keep hearing you guys going like, oh, well, we bought this studio and bought this studio. The fuck have you done with them? I mean, look, Sony's not perfect. They made Concord. That was a Sony. I'm pretty sure that was a Sony exclusive. And they should be chastised for that. Whoever brought that abomination into the world. Nice. But no, I make it sound like, Sony just can do no wrong. I'm like, no, Sony has made mistakes. It's just, I think we're in kind of just a quiet time right now where there's just not a lot going on in the industry. I haven't heard like a lot of really big projects or anything really from either side of the aisle. But
I bet we'll find something good in
it's like I said, it's just, I feel like at least Sony's just trying to do business as usual while Xbox keeps trying to, we're trying to innovate the industry. Yeah, but have you ever thought maybe your innovations to the industry are not gonna work? You know, kind of like trying to go, what if we make a video game streaming service? Yeah, that's a great idea. I think I saw somebody talking about this, that Disney Plus has lost a shitload of subscribers, and I saw a really interesting comment on that. It was that it's become, or that all the streaming websites have essentially become cable with extra steps. And I sit here and go, that's exactly how it's gonna be. That's how it's always gonna be. If everyone makes, now that, Paramount and HBO and this network, they're all making their own streaming services. Yeah, it becomes cable with just extra steps. And that's what this video game streaming service would end up being. Essentially, it would just be the platforms who have the money to run these streaming platforms. So essentially, Steam, Nintendo, Xbox, Sony, are going to be able to make money. What about these smaller studios? Why are they making money if they're just going to put it up on your platform for you to release it for free? And again, I keep saying it for any game that's released on Game Pass. What's the incentive for these companies to launch their game with you on Game Pass? There has to be some sort of licensing deal that, dear God, I hope they get paid a flat rate instead of, if your game gets played.
Flashing won't work. Don't bother with swords.
What's the plan?
Someone's just gonna call me old and go, you just don't want change. Yeah, a little bit, because I think the industry works pretty well the way it has been. Granted, Nintendo's trying to release a $450 handheld system to piss people off with game prices, but that's its own issue. And look, I've made my comments on that before, where I say, look, man, I don't think it's a good idea to launch that console at that price. I think it's too expensive. I think the console itself is overly expensive, because at that price, I've seen multiple people say, at this price I can get a Steam Deck, or I could get whatever. I have to pay for my all these upgrades to get for my Switch 1 games to play on my Switch 2. Just
Okay, here's what I found.
It's just, I feel like they're making the same misstep that that Xbox made going into the Xbox One, that really let Sony dominate the PS4 era. Again, like with Microsoft doing their whole, to share games you have to have a code, and you can share the code once, and yada yada yada, and then Sony goes out. Was it one of the trade shows where they did the whole, this is how easy it is to share a game on PlayStation? Guy took a game box, handed it to a friend, or handed it to the other guy, said, and there you go. And I think at that moment they won that generation of consoles. and Microsoft had to pivot. Frankly, I think Nintendo's in that same way. I mean, what? I think I was hearing Northern Lion talking about the price of the Switch 2 in Canada. So it was like 600 and something Canadian. I don't know. That just seemed. I'm like, is the Canadian dollar that far off the U.S. dollar? Because I looked at the U.S. price; it was only like $4.50.
Let's see.
Or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I saw the wrong thing. Either way, I still think the Switch 2 is going to be overpriced.
What is optimal?
Maybe it's going to be super cool. I still think it's overpriced. I don't know where I'm going with this rant. I'm just ranting. The world just makes me sad recently, where it's just like I'm constantly like, it's just like I'm looking at stuff on the online. I'm like, man, all I'm seeing is just negative shit. It's just, you know, Disney's fucking with franchises, Netflix is fucking with your franchises. This is messing with shit. This is messing with shit. You know what? The Minecraft movie just came out, and it's gonna make $1 billion, even though it's just Jack Black acting like an asshole for the entire thing. Oh, cripes. This is the EFAP breaking that movie down, and holy crap, it sounds awful.
What's the plan?
Down but not out, as they say. I get started. Time to retaliate. This is my duty. Our leader's been knocked down. Our leader's in danger.
I'll end this.
My asshole clenched super hard at that moment when he landed that move on the protagonist. I'm like, oh god, am I gonna get taken down? I was just sitting here just clenching, just going, oh god. Sorry about the dog. Somebody walked by my office, and the dog had to go, there's a person. I like cats. At least they're quiet creatures.
Activating. Persona. Damage inflicted. You dodged it. That's our
now?
leader. Persona. Jinbei-kun.
What to do?
It's frozen solid. That about does it.
It's over.
No shadows detected. My persona has gained a new power.
Guess I'm growing up fast. Oh, hello.
My mouth is dry. I've been sitting here with a glass of water next to me. I've been drinking it this whole time, but I've just been sitting here having like an old man yells at cloud the whole time.
Dude, ain't that a rare?
Alright guys, we're getting to the end of this video. I'm gonna head back down to the bottom floor, view some personas, do all the usual stuff we do after the boss fights. Thank you so much for watching. Social media in the description, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will see you all in the next one. But until then, I'm out.